No one expected the moment to arrive this suddenly, but here we are witnessing history as the digital dinar officially goes live, sending shockwaves across global currency discussions and making even long-time skeptics pause for a moment as they realize something big is unfolding right in front of them. And before we continue, I want you to stay with me till the end of this video because what you're about to hear may completely reshape the way you understand the Iraqi dinar, the RV narrative, and the economic transformation quietly building in the background. So make sure you hit the like button right now and subscribe so you never miss these real-time updates that others usually report late. Now, the launch of the digital dinar is not just a routine government rollout or some basic financial upgrade. It represents a foundational shift in how Iraq intends to rebuild its monetary system, modernize its financial infrastructure, and signal to international markets that it is ready to re-enter the global economy with stability, transparency, and long-term ambition. What makes this moment particularly remarkable is that the digital dinar arrives after years of speculation, delays, and policy uncertainties that left investors, analysts, and currency followers wondering if the country would ever deliver a modern solution capable of supporting a future revaluation or a strengthened exchange rate. With this official launch, Iraq is finally taking a concrete step toward the financial modernization already embraced by many other nations. But what sets this apart is the timing, because Iraq's economic strategies for 2025 were explicitly built around digital transformation, anti-corruption regulation, and integrating its banking sector more deeply with international oversight, all of which align directly with the requirements necessary for the IQD to gain global traction. The digital dinar is more than just a digital version of the physical currency. It's an advanced financial instrument designed to reduce cash-based corruption, speed up money transfers, enhance cross-border compatibility, and bring everyday Iraqi citizens into a secure digital system where every transaction is recorded, verified, and protected. What this means for ordinary Iraqis is increased trust in financial systems, lower reliance on cash-only transactions, and access to technologies that have long been available in more developed markets. But what it means for global currency watchers is something far more significant, because digital currency infrastructure is usually introduced when a country is preparing for larger structural economic milestones. Many analysts believe that once Iraq successfully integrates the digital dinar throughout its banking ecosystem, it becomes easier to adjust the currency's value, monitor liquidity, and support monetary reforms without disruption or instability. For years, conversations about the Iraqi Dinar RV felt theoretical, speculative, or based on fragmented information. But today you're seeing tangible steps that align with global monetary standards rather than rumors or speculation. This does not guarantee immediate revaluation, but it removes long-standing limitations that prevented such a move from even being considered. So, as we continue breaking this down, think of the digital dinar not as the final step, but as a crucial foundation, a signal that Iraq is stepping into a new economic era where transparency replaces uncertainty, where digitalization replaces outdated cash-heavy systems, and where international cooperation becomes far more realistic. Stay with me as we move forward, because what we'll discuss next will help you understand why this launch is being widely seen as one of the most important moves in the entire technological advancement. It represents strategic timing from Iraq. And when you look closely at how the central bank has been preparing for 2025, you begin to notice an intentional pattern forming, one that connects regulatory reforms, banking digitization, currency stabilization efforts, and international compliance upgrades, all into a single roadmap that many experts believe was designed specifically to support future monetary adjustments. As the digital dinar rolls out across the country, Iraq is finally addressing one of its biggest long-term challenges: the massive cash-dominated economy that made tracking financial flows nearly impossible and opened the door to fraud, currency manipulation, and off-book transactions that foreign partners consistently flagged as obstacles to development. By converting a significant portion of a national currency into digital form, Iraq now gains the ability to analyze economic activity in real time, monitor market behaviors, tighten security, and reduce the shadow economy that once made accurate financial reporting extremely difficult. This is a transformational shift because accurate reporting and transparent financial oversight are mandatory for any country aiming to adjust its currency value on the global stage. What makes the digital dinar even more compelling is that it directly supports Iraq's long-standing desire to diversify the economy beyond oil, attract foreign investment, and build a sustainable financial environment where international businesses feel protected and confident enough to operate without fear of inconsistencies or policy unpredictability. For years, investors heard big promises, but saw slow action. Yet now Iraq is finally delivering concrete results, starting with digital currency adoption, updated compliance systems, and the introduction of advanced cybersecurity protections for banking institutions. Another important point often overlooked is that digital currency technology helps Iraq align with IMF recommendations, World Bank modernization strategies, and global anti-corruption frameworks, all of which significantly influence international confidence. When a country strengthens its financial transparency and regulatory environment, it becomes much easier to attract foreign capital, secure international partnerships, and negotiate updated exchange rate mechanisms. The digital dinar also opens the door for future cross-border digital currency compatibility, which could allow Iraq to engage with regional trade partners more efficiently, reduce dependency on cash-based settlements, and modernize export-import operations. This matters because Iraq's long-term economic strategy relies heavily on rebuilding trade systems, improving logistics networks, and ensuring that Iraqi businesses can compete on a global level, and a modern digital currency dramatically improves that potential. Meanwhile, within Iraq, citizens will gradually gain access to mobile payments, digital wallets, instant transfers, and secure platforms that reduce reliance on old banking practices that often cause delays, errors, and frustration. When a country modernizes its internal payment system, it strengthens the entire economic structure from the ground up. And this is exactly why the digital dinar is being seen by many analysts as a step that could support future currency reforms, including potential adjustments to the IQD valuation. While no responsible expert claims an immediate RV, what they do acknowledge is that Iraq is finally removing the barriers that once prevented the RV conversation from being taken seriously. With each new technical upgrade, regulatory improvement, and financial modernization milestone, Iraq positions itself closer to the standards expected by global markets, and the digital dinar serves as the strongest evidence, yet that the country is serious about stepping into a new economic identity. Stay with me, because the final insight will connect everything together in a way
as we
that
approach
helps you
the bigger
understand
picture,
the real impact.
you begin to
of what's
see why
happening
the
right
digital
now.
dinar
Launch is being described as a historic turning point rather than a simple technology update, because when a nation restructures its financial system from the inside out, it sets into motion a chain of economic transformations that ripple far beyond its borders, and Iraq is now positioning itself to benefit from these global changes. What makes this moment even more significant is the way digital currency adoption fits perfectly into Iraq's broader economic rehabilitation plan, one that includes rebuilding infrastructure, stabilizing inflation, attracting international investors, improving transparency, and strengthening diplomatic relationships with partners who have long waited for Iraq to demonstrate consistency and reliability in its financial decisions. As the digital dinar gains traction across the banking system, each digital transaction, each compliance upgrade, and each technology deployment becomes part of a larger framework that makes future monetary reforms, including potential revaluation strategies, far more realistic and operationally manageable. One of the key advantages of digital currency integration is the ability to track liquidity movements with pinpoint accuracy, giving the central bank greater control over money supply circulation and inflationary pressures, all of which are essential prerequisites for adjusting a national currency's exchange rate. For years, Iraq struggled with overloaded cash-based markets, smuggling operations, black market rate distortions, and unmonitored currency flow, but digital currency infrastructure reduces these vulnerabilities dramatically, making it possible for policymakers to stabilize and strengthen the IQD in a controlled and globally compatible manner. But perhaps the most important takeaway from everything happening right now is that Iraq is no longer reacting to economic pressure. It is now shaping its own financial future by choosing modernization, transparency, and long-term stability as national priorities, and the digital dinar is the tool enabling that transformation. As foreign investors observe these changes, confidence grows, and as international institutions review Iraq's progress, pathways open for deeper participation in global markets, trade agreements, digital finance networks, and regulatory partnerships that once seemed far out of reach. When a country modernizes at this level, the discussion around revaluation is no longer about speculation, but about policy readiness, structural capability, and international alignment. And for the first time in many years, Iraq is meeting those requirements one by one. While no one can guarantee the exact timeline or magnitude of any future RV, what can be said with confidence is that Iraq is building the strongest foundation it has ever had, and the digital dinar is the clearest proof of that progress. So, as we close this deep dive update, I want you to take a moment and reflect on how this single launch represents years of preparation, countless policy reforms, and a national commitment to rebuilding a stable financial identity in the global community. And before you go, make sure to like this video right now, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below telling me where you're watching from, because your support helps this information reach more people and keeps you updated with the latest real, factual, and original insights on the Iraqi dinar and the digital dinar transformation happening right now.